Have you ever felt stuck on autopilot, repeating the same scenes, no matter how much you want to change? Today I'll show you Tufti's Braid, a simple awareness technique you can test for 7 days. No promises, just real practice.
Have you ever caught yourself living on autopilot? Same reactions, same habits, same worries, like you're watching a movie you didn't choose, but you're still the one stuck playing the role. Maybe you've promised yourself you'd change, you'd focus, you'd stop repeating the same patterns. And then the day starts, life happens, and somehow you end up right back in the same scene again. What if there was a simple technique that could snap you out of that trance in seconds, so you stop reacting and start directing? Today, I'm going to introduce a practice that's mysterious, controversial, and strangely effective for a lot of people online. Tufti's Braid, also called the plait, a technique described in Tufti the Priestess within the reality transurfing world. And before we go any further, this is not medical advice, it's not a guaranteed manifestation hack, and it's not a promise of instant prosperity. Treat this like a practical awareness experiment, a way to shift your focus, interrupt patterns, and make cleaner decisions. Because if you think about it, most manifestation problems are actually attention problems. We don't lack dreams, we lack control over where our attention goes. Here's the core idea. In Tufti's framing, you're not just living life, you're moving through a film. Not literally a Hollywood reel, but a stream of scenes, thoughts, emotions, choices, outcomes. And most of the time, we're hypnotized by the scene in front of us. We call it stress. We call it anxiety. We call it life being hard. But the bigger truth is that your attention is captured. The scene pulls you in, and when you're fully pulled in, you react like a character who has no script control. Tufti's Braid is presented as a way to shift from character mode to observer mode, and then, from observer mode, choose your next scene more consciously. In other words, you stop being only the actor inside the moment, and you regain a small but powerful distance, enough to choose what happens next instead of being dragged by habit. So, what exactly is the braid? In the book's language, the braid is described as an outer intention center, a point of attention located between your shoulder blades, not flat on the spine, but slightly away from it, like a subtle protruding point you sense rather than physically touch. Some people feel it immediately as a phantom sensation. Others don't feel anything at first, and that's normal. This technique isn't about superstition. It's about placing attention in a specific spot, which changes your state. Most people think from the forehead. They try harder. They tense up. They force outcomes. They squeeze the mind like it's a muscle that can push reality into shape. But Tufti's method suggests something different. Stop pushing with inner tension. Shift attention behind you. Let the scene become lighter, more spacious. And here's the interesting part. Once you activate the braid, you highlight a frame, meaning you hold a simple image of the outcome you want, as if you're choosing the next scene of your film. Interpret that however you want. Energy, psychology, nervous system regulation, attentional control. The practical part is what matters. Because even if you remove all mystical language, there's something real happening when you change where your attention sits. When attention widens, you stop being trapped in the smallest, loudest thought. You stop obeying every emotion as if it's an order. You create space, and in that space, you can choose. Let me translate the mechanism into something more grounded. When you move attention to a point behind you, between the shoulder blades, you often relax facial tension, release the constant problem-solving grimace, create a wider, calmer awareness, and reduce impulsive reactivity. It's like you step half a step back from your own mind. That alone can change your decisions. And prosperity, real prosperity, is mostly decisions. What you repeat, what you stop, what you commit to, what you avoid, and what you finally do. So instead of using this technique to ask the universe, you use it to exit autopilot and make better moves. You're not trying to control life by force. You're trying to control your state so your choices become cleaner and your follow-through becomes stronger. Now let's do the simplest version of the practice together. First, wake up inside the scene. Right now, wherever you are, say this quietly or in your mind. I see myself and I see reality. That's it. This sentence is a switch. It separates you from the scene. You're not denying reality. You're gaining awareness inside it. You're reminding yourself, I'm here and I'm watching. I'm not only inside the emotion, I'm also aware of it. Next, activate the braid. Bring your attention to the area between your shoulder blades, slightly behind you. Don't force it. Don't strain. Just place attention there like you're listening with that spot. Some people imagine a soft thread, a small plait, or a point of light extending slightly outward. If that helps, use it. If not, keep it simple. My attention is here, between my shoulder blades, and watch what happens. Often your breathing deepens, your face relaxes, and your mind opens. That's the state you want. Focus without tension, calm presence without heaviness. Now, while keeping your attention on the braid, highlight one frame. Picture one simple snapshot of the reality you want. Keep it clean and realistic. Not I'm a billionaire tomorrow, but something you can actually embody. I wake up focused. I follow my plan. I make the call I've been avoiding. I finish the work and send it. I stick to my budget today. I show up consistently. Let it be a short scene, like a still image, then add one sentence. This is my next scene. Hold it for 10 seconds, then release it. That's the basic technique, and if your mind wanders, don't fight it. Just bring it back to the braid and the frame. Calm repetition is part of the training, and training is the whole point. Now here's the biggest mistake people make. They turn it into desperate wishing. They tense up and demand results. They grip the technique like a lifeline, as if pressure will produce a miracle. But Tufti emphasizes a different state. Calm authority, like you're choosing, not begging. And that's the point. When you stop begging, you start directing. This is less about getting and more about becoming. Becoming the version of you that follows through, the version of you that acts before motivation fades. So let's turn this into something you can test in real life. A 7-day experiment designed around prosperity. Every day, you'll do Tufti's braid for 60 seconds, then take one real action. Because this technique only becomes powerful when it meets action. Here's your structure. Either in the morning or at night, start with, I see myself and I see reality. Move attention to the braid between your shoulder blades. Highlight one frame for 10 seconds. Then ask one question. What is the most practical next step toward prosperity today? And now, the most important part. Choose one small action you will complete within 24 hours. That action can be as simple as sending one message offering a service, applying for one opportunity, listing your expenses for 10 minutes, canceling one useless subscription, working 30 minutes on a skill that increases income, making one difficult call, or writing one clear offer you can actually sell. Prosperity doesn't come from believing harder. It comes from moving smarter. It comes from the small choices that compound when you repeat them consistently. And if you want to make the experiment even more powerful, add one simple rule. Your action must be measurable. Not, I'll think about it. Not, I'll try. Something you can check off. One message sent, one page written, one expense list made, one application submitted, 1 hour practiced. This is how you prove to your nervous system that you're serious. And when you prove you're serious, your mind starts cooperating. You stop negotiating with yourself every day. You stop restarting your life every Monday. Now, how do you know it's working? Don't measure success by mystical signs. Measure it by behavior. Over the week, you'll notice fewer impulsive decisions, less emotional spiraling, more clarity on what matters, stronger follow-through, and a growing ability to choose your next scene. That's the real reality shift. And don't underestimate that. Most people don't need a new life. They need a new pattern. They need a new default. Here's an important grounding reminder. If you're dealing with intense anxiety or mental health struggles, treat this as a gentle focus exercise, not a replacement for professional support. Keep your frames ethical, too. Prosperity built on shortcuts often turns into chaos later. If you want, you can include this line when you highlight your frame. Safe, smart, and ethical. You're choosing a better scene, not a reckless one. Tonight, try it once. Not to prove anything to anyone, but to prove to yourself that your attention is not a prison. Wake up inside the scene. Activate the braid. Highlight the next frame. Then take one real action within 24 hours. And if you do this for 7 days, comment below. What frame did you highlight on day 1, and what action did you take? I'd love to read what you're working on, because sometimes naming your frame out loud is the first step to making it real. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate you being here. If this video helped you, please hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next. And if you know someone who's been feeling stuck in the same old movie, share this with them, because sometimes the smallest shift in attention becomes the biggest shift in direction.
Thanks for watching. If this helped, hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. And if you tried the 7-day experiment, comment what frame you chose and what action you took within 24 hours.